the most.
Let us begin.
Oh, look at that. That's so nice. I love the overlay.
I didn't even see it. Hey, that's awesome. Excellent work to all who worked on it.
Yeah.
The stream
So
is on.
talented.
All right. So, when we last left off on the Great Games, the art club had battled and slain the accursed giant Ungath, ancient enemy of giant kind and the gods themselves. After claiming his legendary axe Hadzurn, the giant's bane, you began to make your way up from the depths of his strange mirror-like prison. After returning to Yuma, the stone giant priestess who directed you towards Ungath and gave insight into your grand quest, you discovered that she had passed on, seemingly aware of her kin's demise. Though, with a faint smile on her face, you think that she finally rested at peace. We pick up now. Shift some things around, just a little bit. You're in a daze. Eyes not fully open. You feel grass underneath you. It's warm. The light slapped to your face, Joey. Many tiny slaps to your face.
You see that your mic.
I don't know why it's doing it. There's nothing.
Try unplugging it and just plug it back in.
That's Kawhi. You know how I'm using every USB slot on my computer. We're gonna play
Roulette? Oh no.
Can't you
well, why don't you unplug it from the mic?
Chris, you can have nothing in this world. You could have no smooth entrance. Nothing.
Joey, the noise muffled as if, like, through a wall, steadily getting louder and clearer. Hello? Wake up! Hello? Your eyes slowly flutter open. You see bright yellow light. You can immediately tell you're not in the darkened cave surroundings you last recall. You remember seeing Uma, you remember getting your things, but you kind of wake up, you are greeted with a face, like directly above yours, a hand like kind of lightly tapping your cheek. You see beautiful but bright blue eyes. You see kind of light, deepened gray skin. Familiar patterns down the eyes, these kind of black streaks that kind of go around down the cheeks, the long black hair, a childlike face in front of you. Hey, you're awake finally.
Yeah, what's going on?
You kind of open your eyes and begin to sit up. You feel groggy as if you've just woken up. You're present, but things feel a bit hazy, and you aren't entirely able to perceive your surroundings just yet, save for the child figure in front of you and the friends, your companions, scattered amongst the grass, unconscious, though slowly stirring. Yeah, the other ones weren't waking up just yet, but you seem to be the most awake first.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, I have no idea. I just got here. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Jerry Wolfson Rider the First. What's your name?
Hi, Joey, Wolfson Rider the First. I'm... I don't know. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you ain't got a name?
I can't think of one. You start to look around now. The rest of you can hear these muffled voices steadily growing louder as you two begin to come to consciousness. The grass beneath you, this warm environment, Joey, you begin to examine your surroundings further. You see white stone pillars, structures scattered about. Looks to be a dense forest. This warm, radiant light just kind of piercing through the area. It looks partially overgrown, but quiet, calm. Though you don't know where you are, you don't feel uneasy. Everyone else kind of slowly begins to stir, also waking up to see this child figure in front of Joey, who, despite the traumatic change in physique, does bear similar traits and markings to the giant creature you slew hours prior. Oh, they're all waking up. Great. Good morning! Just kind of shouts out with that good morning. You all kind of like snap to and become aware of your surroundings.
I don't remember drinking that much last night.
I don't think we drank at all. Were you drinking?
It feels like it.
I can try and find some water.
That would be excellent.
All right.
He's certainly looking.
I don't see any.
Well, you tried. Oh,
The figure kind of starts just like stands up and just kind of starts roaming around the space. You see like peeking around pillars and looking around for water, but unsuccessfully.
Are we all there,
You're all there?
including Hasurian?
Assyrian is not present.
Ah.
You look about, you feel, like I said, that strange haze, almost like you're in a dream, but you're present. Everything feels real. You kind of run your fingers through the grass beneath your feet. You feel like a gentle, cool breeze across your face. You kind of immediately start taking stock of yourself, and you realize that while you have your clothes and perhaps day-to-day items, your weapons and armaments are not in your person.
Andor, having noticed that, is going to reach out his hand and try to summon, instead of a rapier, he'll try to summon a pike.
There's a kind of like a flurry of like faint white light from your hand, as there normally is when you summon a weapon. But nothing appears.
Did Zappa's eyes open and he came to like he normally does, or does he open his eyes?
It's a bit hazier. Your eyes were
Okay.
open when you began to recognize your surrounding,
Okay.
but you aren't sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maria's not wearing her armor.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It is. You move. You aren't restricted much when moving in your armor, but you just feel so much lighter, as if not bearing the weight and the connection to this armor itself. About 20 feet away, it's like, I don't think there's any water around here. Just trees.
it's okay. I think we're dead anyway.
Oh, wait! Footsteps. Running off.
We've seen this child, right?
Yeah, you've seen the child.
Okay.
Not
It's
like
not only- it's not
previously,
like
just now.
Only Joey could see.
No,
this
you can
child.
all see them.
We should probably go follow him now.
Zappa's gonna just tell Pops what happened and let him know in his head.
Okay.
And then after that, yeah, just be ready to head out.
Kind of get up, look around. You're not sure where you are. A few moments later, under like a crumbled stone archway, you see the child figure reappear with looks to be a small like, yellow fruit in his hand, almost kind of shaped like a pear. It's like, I didn't find water, but I found this.
Oh, that's
There's a couple more. I couldn't reach the other ones.
No, show me. Show me where you found them, and I'll.
If they give me the pair, I'll take it.
Yeah, takes it. It's not quite like a pear. You actually aren't entirely sure what kind of fruit this is. It has almost like striations along the sides, almost kind of like a squash or a gourd, like these kind of lumps. But it's like ever so slightly squishy. It's clearly a fruit. You smell it. Smells sweet. You're not familiar with it. It's like, oh yeah, sure. Oh wait, no, sorry. Hi. What are your names? I tried asking you
Zappa.
earlier, but no one woke up.
I'm
Hi, Zappa.
Zappa.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too.
I'm Maria.
Hi, Maria. Yours?
Outdoor.
Hi, Andor.
You can call me Pippinog.
Kevin, no. It's a funny one.
Eh.
Yeah, have we met? You all seem. Have we met before?
Maybe. You have one of those familiar faces.
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I don't know. Appearance-wise, looks no older than 12, maybe a little younger. It's hard to tell.
I'm this many.
What brings you to a place like this?
Oh, I just got here.
From where?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm just here, and then you were here, and you were asleep, and now you're not asleep.
Point of order. Do we remember everything up to this moment?
It's, like I said, a bit hazy, but yeah, you recall, you saw Yuma, you remember feeling sad, you remember fighting Gath, you remember everything leading up to this moment, though there's almost like a night after heavy drinking, there's just a certain point where it just kind of fades to black.
And what are we wearing? You said we're not wearing armaments or anything.
No, just whatever day clothes you would normally be adorned in.
Okay, so this ain't like a Garden of Eden. We got like a leaf covering our beds. Okay.
No.
If that was the case, we're actually dead. We died. Campaign over.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, there's more this way, come on. Kind of just
Okay.
jaunts off. You watch as he
Zappa's-
like sprightly skips off through these ruins that you find yourselves in. Zappa begins to follow.
Mhm.
Is he a decent ways ahead of us?
If you let him, I mean he doesn't stop and wait for you. He kind of
Okay.
is excited and just keeps going.
Okay. Whoever's kind of like lagging behind. I mean,
So far,
he does
everyone but Zappa.
he does kind of like bear a resemblance to Ungath, right? Like if Ungath
The-
was younger.
The facial structure is very young, but still slightly similar. There's those black lines around along the face and around the shoulders. Though it seems to just be like almost like a Goliath, how they have those just like black markings on their skin. It's similar to that, but
Okay.
he bears a lot of similar features.
Okay. Guys, doesn't he kind of bear resemblance to Ungath?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Do you think we like clapped him so hard we like turned him into a child?
No? I don't think he looks like Ungath. I think it is Ungath. But, I think that only adds to the idea that we've died.
I mean, we kind of kicked his ass though. I mean, we got back in pretty good shape.
Can I pull up a bit of grass and taste it?
Tastes like grass.
This feels like a real corporeal world.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like there's this like almost like faint kind of white haze around the edges of your vision, and everything feels like slightly off. Like you're like you just woke up from a dream and you're still kind of groggy. But you're like I said, you're present. Everything feels real.
Hello? Hello? Anyone?
You just hear it like 40 feet up. Hello? Are you coming?
It's
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, coming.
We'll waddle after the small kid.
He's like standing next to you, Zappa. And it's like, wow. I didn't know people could be blue.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My skin color is a lot cooler than a lot of people's.
Yeah, that's true.
Just like my hair.
Yeah, your hair's really cool. I like your eyes.
Oh, thank you. Pops gave him to me. He's
Oh,
the
it's Pops.
best. Oh, so he's my dad, and we live in it's a forest. It's a little bit like this, except there's a lot more cool stuff in it. That's why I call it the cool forest. And
This
I
forest
have
seems
a
pretty
whole
cool
family.
too.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Yeah, look,
like a
look, we're
normal
here.
forest.
And the tree you're next to, he points up. There's a few low-hanging branches, but up in the twisted leaves, you see like half a dozen or so of these strange yellow fruits.
Can Zappa jump up? And is his jump height?
Oh yeah, you
Uh,
you kind of crouch down and propel yourself upward. You can try and grab one.
Yeah.
Those of you, is anyone else following after Pip?
Mhm.
Okay. As the rest of you come around just in time, describe how you throw yourself up and catch one of these pears.
Zap will just crouch down and then shoot up very like thin and like elegantly, and then just as he reaches the top and slows down, he'll pick one and fall back down and just kind of start analyzing it like the other one.
Yeah, you even like as you fall down, you kind of like lay down and relax like mid-air as you just gently drift to the ground like a leaf. As you jump up, springing through the air, the child's like, "Whoa!" sees you leap into the air before you come back down. That was so. Whatever forest you're from is much cooler than this one. I take it back.
Yeah, it is. You should see it sometimes.
Yeah, can we go?
I'd have to ask Pops, but he seems to let people, come if they want.
Does anyone else want one?
Can I cast Mage Hand?
Yeah.
And it appears? I will try and grab one out of the tree.
And then you watch it floats up. You don't pluck it. Okay. I'll try and do it too. And he like jumps up like a foot, like
Andor's going to cast Mage Hand, pluck one off, and then bring it down to the child.
he gets a lot like you're bringing it down. And he's like, no, too low, make it a little higher.
Okay.
You're like just high enough to where it seems like it'd be a challenging jump for them.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
kind of like gets down, like reaches up, gets it, like. But actually, let's see if he. Yeah, 6th landing.
Nice.
I got it. Did I jump higher than you,
Nice.
Zappa?
Not quite, but it was
Okay.
close.
That's
You
okay.
just have
You're
to
older than
train
me.
some more.
I'll get there.
Right, so this place seems to be very choosy with what magic I can and cannot cast.
Can I pop a detect magic?
Do you all know magic? Yeah. You throw out a detect magic. Nothing in the immediate vicinity radiates magical other than what's normally on your group's person. And you still have your whatever components or focuses you use to cast spells, unless they are weaponry. You still have those on your person. It seems to only be armor and weapons that is not on you.
Zappa's gonna take the fruit, put it down on the ground. He's gonna go, watch this. And then he's gonna put the symbol on the fruit and try to get it to sink and send it back home.
Okay. You go and start to trace the symbol. Doesn't sink into the floor. I'm gonna trace the symbol into it and watch the area around the fruit just kind of like darkens, like because you just broke the skin of it, but no, doesn't go into the ground. He's just like, what's gonna happen to it?
Oh, when I trace the symbol into it, that's the symbol for home. Usually, I can send food back to my house, but it's not working here for some reason.
Oh, well, that's okay. I mean, food here.
So then taking a look at the foliage and the just kind of arboretum around us, do I recognize any of these plants?
Make me a nature check.
18.
Going around, they're all very similar. None of them look out of the ordinary, though upon inspecting them, you also can't link them to any plants you're familiar with. Like the leaf shapes, you're not entirely familiar with, the bark textures. Not like it's not strange. They're clearly trees, vines, and grass, but if there is a genus to them, you're not familiar with it.
Okay.
Very peculiar.
And you kind of start to gaze around, and like the longer you're awake, the more your vision kind of starts to slowly return to normal, and you can see these white marble ruins kind of are scattered throughout the area and seem to go on through the forest.
Joey, are you still shirtless?
What kind of question is that?
Well, hey.
As a matter of fact, Joey has magically conjured a shirt. That is the only thing that you have gained. No,
Joey's
still
wearing
shirtless.
magical tassels.
This is a serious question, though.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
Joey's still shirtless.
Are there any markings or things on Joey's skin that Pip would notice that may look out of the ordinary, even with the detect magic up?
Make an investigation check.
14 total.
Looking like you gotta carefully inspect Joey. No, nothing's new.
Does Joey still have the markings on the back of his neck?
Which ones are you referring to?
The one left by the caretaker.
Oh, right. Yes, those would still be there.
So what's the last thing we remember then?
I woke up here.
Good start.
If I say the name,
No, I don't have it in my head.
Ungath.
Ungath. I had Uvalod in my head. So that
If I say the
If-
name Uvalad,
does that mean anything? No, if I say the name Ungath to you, does that mean anything to you?
It's a weird name.
It is, but does you recognize it? Do you?
Well, yeah, it's weird.
Hmm. This kid is wise. I like him.
I like you too.
Ooh, new question. Pip's mustache. Does he have 4 caps?
Do you have a reason to be missing any?
Yes, I gave one to the gem creatures because they were interested, and I
Then
traded
yes,
them.
you're missing one.
Okay.
You
Okay.
go over all your confidence. The only things that have changed is the lack of armaments.
Zappa will ask, do you guys want me to go climb up the tree and see if I can see anything from there?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll race you.
Okay. And Zappa will bound up. He doesn't want to lose. He's gonna go as fast as he can.
With
Pip leans
full
over.
enthusiasm, he go ahead.
Pip leans over to Maria.
1 gold on Zappa.
With full enthusiasm, he jumps onto the tree, and you watch he like slowly starts to slide down. Yeah, Zappa, you effortlessly bound your way up the tree.
Mhm.
It's like you don't have time to make the bet. Like you're like a gold on Zappa, and Zappa's at the top.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, he kind of looks bummed. Is that? And he seemed to think he had an honest chance of victory.
Ooh.
Zappa's gonna look out, see how far he can see.
Make me a perception check.
Make sure
Also, while
he-
we're watching Zappa, Maria's gonna pop a divine sense just for funsies.
The
flat 10.
pulse of divine sense goes out, and though you sense no presence of celestial beings, the entire environment around you radiates this heavily consecrated aura. It's almost like you throw a divine sense and everything turns white for a second. You're like, fuck. And you kind of let your eyes adjust, and this area that's not just the stone or the trees, the air itself feel this strong, holy presence.
Can Joey misty step into the tree?
Into the tree?
Does misty step work? Is really the not
Do you
into
mean
the tree like
into the
fucking.
tree or the
You,
branches?
you're like, I wonder. There's a puff of smoke, and you guys hear, ow, as Joey, like, boom, like, teleports into the tree. You kind of rub your face. It worked. It worked. You did it.
I think I'm onto something here, guys. Call it a hunch, but I don't think we're on the floating islands anymore.
Found out all that just by running into a tree?
I mean, trees, it just smacked knowledge into me is what happened. You should try it sometime.
No, don't, child. Oh,
What is it?
fuck.
Bam! Hits the tree with his head. The bark cracks.
Yeah.
There's a very slight bruise in the forehead. He's like, ow! All I learned
Joey's,
is that hurt.
Joey's gonna use Druidcraft, and right where he hit his head, he's gonna just make make just some falling leaves.
Okay. And Zappa, as you're making your way up through the branches, dense foliage, you're climbing your way up, you hear like a faint thud against the tree, followed by another thud against the tree. But as you climb to the top, break through the branches, you see not a blue sky, this kind of like almost pastel yellow-white atmosphere. No sun, just that ever-present warm light that fills the area. No real source other than just above. Gazing out, you see about 100 feet or so around this forest seems to continue before it breaks. In the distance, you see what looks to be same kind of crumbled ruins, like a marble bridge that seems to go like there's a cliff, drops, and it just kind of seems to go, and that is where this ever-present white light just kind of not really ends, it just kind of ends your vision, almost like you're looking through fog, and the bridge just kind of fades off into it. So other than that, you see no real paths or landmarks.
Okay. Zappa will head back down and relay that. Basically saying, yeah, there's a cool bridge over there. If you guys want to go check that out.
Yeah, which way?
Zappa will point.
Oh, come on! He starts running off.
Zappa
the
will
rest of
look
you
at the group and then start heading behind them.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Well, guys, I'm not as worried anymore. This place has a holy presence to it, so I think we're, metaphorically out of the woods, but
We're dead.
I mean that's kind of jumping to conclusions, yeah?
Well, all my friends are here.
Are all your friends dead?
Well, if you're all here.
You didn't have any other friends except for us?
He passes a glance to you and then looks back at Maria. He doesn't answer though.
Somewhere, wherever he might be, Asturian suddenly becomes sad.
Somewhere, wherever he is. Fluke Song also does a sad.
They felt the disturbance in the force.
Thought we had something.
I thought we did too. Well, I mean, put it this way. Friends die together. If they were really my friend, they would be here.
Jesus Christ, Pip. I mean, gee.
Yeah, it's a little morbid, but I mean, Marvel doing that to you.
I mean, I'm honored that you think that we're all friends, which we are, but if I'm dead, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be a little pissed off.
You aren't the only one.
Give me a little peep there, Maria, if you did. Just a mild
Yeah.
ruffle to your feathers.
Well, I mean, if there's a way, I'll find a way to come back. But I mean,
It's a threat.
That's a rage.
Maria,
it wasn't even an honorable way to go out, you know?
if you died, all right, I would find a way to bring you back. Cause I know I won't stay dead. I don't know about y'all, but I'll be coming back.
Maria almost instinctively like makes her armor close, but then she realizes that there's no armor, and you just see like little blush.
You just for some reason you just flick your head forward for a moment and nothing happens. Like you instinctively like tilt your head down. Oh.
Can I find a sharp stick?
Yeah.
Can I try to prick my finger to see if it bleeds?
Yeah.
Does it bleed?
Take your stick, kind of sharpen it, you kind of bleeds. Heals about 2 seconds later.
Yeah, we're
Start
really dead.
stabbing the child.
Zap was like,
He's
Maria, why?
run off. You've lost sight of him now.
We should really catch up with the child.
Oh, yes. Good
oh,
idea.
Yeah, Zap
Yeah,
would have been gone too because he was like slightly hanging behind.
Oh, so you followed after him right away, or did you stay with
Yeah.
the group? Zap? Okay.
I followed. I gave a little distance, but I was following behind him.
Make me a call it an athletics check,
Mhm.
just to see how well you keep up.
With a small child. Oh yeah.
28.
Good Lord,
Oh yeah.
I did not think you were that athletic, but alrighty. Yeah, you effortlessly keep pace with this child. That you notice he is also quite sprightly and fast. You'd wager if you were not, wearing such incredible boots and being as well trained, you might actually have lost him. Does the rest of the group follow after?
Oh yes.
Right then. You reach it first, Zappa. This bridge, like you hear just through like this thick of trees as the child like emerges first. You hear it's like, whoa, and you like emerge right after. You see this bridge. Your vision cut off, and you couldn't see it from up in the tree, but you see it as not over a cliff, but a river. Beautiful, crystal clear water rushes steadily underneath it. Seems to cross onward for only about 50 feet or so before it seems to reach the other side and continue onward, though the path ahead of you is still partially obscured. And as you emerge outwards, everyone else kind of follows behind. You see the child like kind of gets down like kind of towards the bank of this river and just kind of like splashes around in it. Seems to be just enjoying the water. The rest of you emerge from the forest, see Zappa there. The splashing.
Peep, you might be right. We might be dead because I think that's the.
Blessed.
I think that's.
Thank you for that.
He said,
What do you-
unhand me.
What do you call it? That rainbow bridge? Like when your pet dies and your pet goes across the rainbow bridge, right? Do you think that's what that is over there?
But this bridge is
Maybe.
white. You hear from like at the edge of the riverbank.
Oh, but is it white, like the color white, the accumulation of all colors there? So isn't that, in a sense, like a rainbow?
It's just white. It's one color.
But it's the presence of all color.
No.
But it's just white. I don't. Here, watch this. Ha! You watch as he jumps and splashes into the river. Only seems to be about a few feet deep. And there's this splash of clear water.
So
He makes a
what
compelling
if
point.
we
Sorry, what did you just say?
I said he makes a compelling point.
Oh. Yep.
What if, I mean, you all remember what happened just before we showed up here, right?
Yeah.
What if kind of the other part of the curse was that we have to, escort someone to the other side? And, well, don't know about you, but, I heal in about 2 seconds. Seems a little odd for the nature of the world.
Yeah, it is a little odd, but you notice Maria's been eyeing the river this entire time, and she just kind of like looks to you, Pip, kind of walks over to the edge, kicks her boots off, and immediately just starts soaking her feet in the water.
You walk up to it, and the child's like, "Come on, the water's great!" And he's like splashing around in it. He kind of like lays on the back and just kind of lays on his back and just kind of gently starts floating down the river. It's not fast. It's like he's not gonna go far.
Andor kind of walks over to the edge of the river and says, "Ah, fuck it, we deserve it." And he'll take off his top, his boots, and he'll dive headfirst into the river.
It
Not
is
like
crystal clear, cool, refreshing water. It is probably like the nicest swimming you felt, just in general. It's refreshing, revitalizing. You can swim around. You kind of like splash in. As soon as you kind of pull your head up, you hear, "Hey, Andor!" You go and
Yes.
look. Splash of water in your face.
Andor starts
You're supposed
braining
to
this kid.
dodge. You just hold him underwater. It's like, you little shit.
Is there like if Pip walks upstream, is there a source of the water, or does it just kind of ever flow?
As you begin to walk upstream, it doesn't. Not in your immediate vicinity. This kind of border of light seems to obscure vision about 100 or so feet from you. And
Okay.
to that distance, you don't see a source.
Okay.
Andor has summoned a mage hand to help his quest in splashing water back at the child.
That's not fair. I only have 2 hands.
Yeah, well, you picked this fight.
Seeing this, Pip will summon his mage hand to assist the child. Even the playing field.
He kind of like looks at it, sees you. Oh, I thought I did that. Okay,
Oh no, you are.
get him. He like looks to the hand. Whoosh. It's like a big.
You're a
beast
wise and
hand.
impressive caster, child. Andor will feign defeat.
Cute.
He's just laughing, splashing water at you. Joey, Zappa.
Zappa's probably just he'll go to the edge of the water, reach his hand in, just kind of feel it.
It's nice. Doesn't seem to be worth noting. Water is crystal clear. You can see the the sediments and anything that lies at the floor. You don't see any fish. Just the water itself. Start to realize you don't hear birds either. It's very quiet, though not uneasy. Peaceful.
Joey's gonna go up to the water and see if he can just freeze. Just 5 feet of water.
You start to walk up to it, and like the splash like stops for a moment. He's like, "Oh, Joey! I found the water!
You did. I mean, that's real impressive.
Ha! I found the water. Ha!" And like splashes it towards you instead. And were you gonna try and try and freeze some?
Yes, with shape water. I'm gonna see if I can freeze 5-foot cube.
You kind of reach out, and it's just like this chunk of it's moving. So as it freezes, it almost gets this like elongated like striations to it, and yeah, it forms. Ice just kind of starts floating down the river.
Nice.
Oh, you guys are so cool. You watch as he like reaches his hands out, tries to freeze the water in front of him. Nothing happens. Okay. Sometime this will work. Do I have to bang my head on a tree again?
No.
Okay.
Mm.
Does anything
does
banging your head on
the-
anything else help?
It does when you're stuck, but you haven't tried everything.
Oh, I'm not stuck.
There you go.
Just watch as he like kind of moves around in the water.
Anders would cup his hands and try to drink some of the river.
I
You can
will
do so.
attempt an offensive spell then, a firebolt just into the sky.
Kind of raise your hand, try and project a fire bolt. There's just kind of just this, like a puff of smoke from your hand where it would originate.
So we're in a place that is entirely peaceful, both physically, emotionally, mentally, biologically, it seems. No harm may be done.
How can you be biologically peaceful?
You've been around as long as I have, little one. You may figure that one out.
But you're old.
You don't know that?
Yeah, you've got the white hair on your face. It means you're old.
He's got you there, Pip.
It looks miffed at this point.
He's just like, you're right, but at the same time.
Everyone else is like in this peaceful tranquility. Pip angry.
Zap is gonna try to infuse some of his Fey energy into the, just maybe like some grass to see if it takes hold or just dissipates as it enters.
Do you have druidcraft or any cantrips that would
Yeah,
accomplish
druidcraft.
that? Okay, then yeah, you kind of do that in a flower you're familiar with, like from the Feywild, kind of sprouts. Do so successfully.
Okay.
An invasive species.
Let's see that.
This whole ecosystem is ruined.
There is no peace when we use invasive species.
Zap will point to the flower. This flower is from the cool forest, looking at supposed Undead.
Immediately out of the river and next to you. Whoa. Can I have it?
Mm-hmm. You just have to pick it.
Picks it.
Carnivorous plant.
I had flashbacks to chaotic average.
And Zap will find another similar flower and inject the same thing and show him that he can make it again.
I don't know how many times I can say you're cool, but wow. Seems, yeah, he's the childlike delights of literally anything you show him is present.
Yeah, Pops lets me do this.
Can Pops make me do it?
If Pops lets you join our family, then yeah.
Oh. I don't know if
Careful
I have
what
a
you wish
family.
for.
Yeah, I didn't know if I had a family too, and then Pops came and he saved me, and then I was part of his family.
Oh. Well, I want to be part of your family.
Yeah, my family
Careful
members
what
are
you
really
wish
cool.
for.
What was that, Pip?
Pip is saying it under his breath.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, Pops gave me these cool eyes and my cool teeth as well.
You have cool teeth?
Mm-hmm. And he just, his smile opens up. He shows his teeth.
Street shark.
Oh. I bet you could bite through anything.
Mm-hmm.
How about that rock?
Zap is gonna full faith in himself. These are Pop's teeth. Of course they can bite through anything. He's gonna just chomp down on the rock.
Ow! That is a steep pain as if you had actually bitten into a rock.
Ah, oh, he just gave me the teeth. The gums are still mine, so that kind of hurt.
Well, if we aren't in the islands anymore, can anyone send a message?
We ran into this problem many times. I don't think any of us have any kind of like delivery method, except me, and that would be I would have to find an animal that would then have to traverse.
Oh, right. Yes, we talked about this. The 100 seagulls.
Well,
There
we
was a
could-
loud crunching sound. Biffo! I did it! You watch as there is a chunk out of another rock that the child has in his hands. Doesn't taste good, but I did it!
Oh, she's
shit.
getting stronger.
You're really good at biting rocks. A lot better than me.
I'm good at hitting trees with my head and biting rocks. What else can I use my head for?
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, I think you're all awesome.
This kid thinks well.
Come on, let's see where this bridge goes. And he climbs out of the water and starts flapping his way across the bridge.
Can I collect a sample of a bunch of just the random rocks, foliage, bark, tree,
Yeah,
branches,
absolutely.
and just take it, like carrying it with me?
Mhm. And there's the the grass, the foliage, the carved stone. You all you get bits of all of it. He watches the child begins to run across the bridge. As he reaches the other side, he begins to leave you.
Slow down! These old legs don't move as quick as they used to.
Maria's gonna sigh, put her boots back on reluctantly, and turn to Andor and just be like, Andor, don't you still have the stone to maybe call Asimov? Tell him we don't know where we are.
Give it a shot, and I'll pull out the sending stone.
Okay.
And try to use it.
You motion with the sending stone. Seems to work. What's your message?
Hey there, Asimov. Andor here. Woke up in a strange place. We think we're dead. Can't cast offensive magic. Might need your help.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm not dead. Pops would take me back home before I died.
Physically?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
You send out this message, Andor. You do not receive a reply.
But it went through, so it's not like
You
As
felt
more-
the as with the other cantrips and whatever you've been casting here, you felt the magic take hold. Yes, it was successful.
We're just in airplane mode.
yes.
D&D on airplane mode. Nice.
It casts. I'm not getting a reply back. It's hard to tell if it actually reached him or not, but it was sent.
Maybe just one of the world's greatest mysteries. We will not find out.
Oh,
Perhaps the
well,
answers are on the other side of the bridge.
I think that maybe we'd find out if we're not dead, because we would see Asmore and we'd be like, "Hey, did you receive that live message?" And then Asmore would be like, "Yeah," and then we would know.
We keep putting gold pieces in which side we think we are, dead or not dead, and they're filling up equally at this point.
I don't think we're dead.
And one in the not dead category.
I feel like I would remember it if this is what it's like. Oh, well, I don't think we did.
Zach will start heading over the bridge.
I
By
was
this
gonna
point,
die.
by this point, the child is fully out of view. though every now and then you can hear a faint, distant exclamation of wonder. You begin to
Wow.
cross the bridge. Does everyone else, you all, like, when you put your boots back on, you pick up your shirt and/or do you all cross?
Mhm.
Y'all begin to walk over the bridge, and as you do, your vision extends. Excuse me. Your vision continues to extend forward, and you see this stone-laden path, walkway continuing from where the bridge is. The dense forest you're in seems to lighten up, still in a forested area, but more of this stone structure, more of a layout as you walk through not just wild foliage, but bushes and small garden areas that are meant to be aesthetically pleasing, though still all partially overgrown. As you walk forward, the child comes into vision first. Just beyond him, the large statue he seems to be standing in front of, admiring in awe. As you cross over the bridge, enter this area. This tile, stone, almost courtyard. The stone path you arrive from seems to split off into several others. The garden around you decorated with stone statues, hero figures heroically posed, adorned in a variety of armor, clothing. None seeming to have any particular relation to each other other than the statues themselves.
Do any of the figures look familiar?
No, not in particular. You recognize like some of their clothes, their armaments. And you start looking closer. There's, how do I put it? There's this odd sense as if, not like they're watching you. There's just this weird presence as if someone else in the room. It's not unwelcome, but you just feel this shift in the air as you kind of enter this courtyard. Whatever sensations might have been keeping you calm seem to fade away, and your emotions are largely your own now. You see these walkways seem to split off into other areas of garden where more of these statues are, though you can't quite make out details at this distance. The child is sat in front of this large one in the center, just seems to be looking it over, legs crossed, kind of starstruck. Kind of turns back to you, like, "Oh hey, she's pretty."
Pip has one of those expressions of like mouth agape, armful of stuff, and then just drops everything.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I said. Joey,
Are they? Nope.
with your passive perception, one of these side garden areas. All of these paths, there's 6 total, one you came from, and 5 that branch off elsewhere. 4 of the rest seem to split off into other areas of the garden. Then 1 continues straight ahead where that white light seems to belay passage. As you happen to gaze off to one of these other areas of the garden, one of the figures catches your eye. Familiar to you, briefly. Dragonborn figure, they have an elongated face. The pose of the statue seems like in a valiant stance. You vaguely recognize the features, the shape of the head and the posture of the body. You've met someone similar in this game. Briefly.
Does it look like the dude we had dinner with in the very beginning? The paladin?
You go closer to look.
Yes.
The rest of you seem like the child is still like admiring the immediate area. Joey seems to catch something and begins to walk off down one of the paths.
Pip will follow.
You approach this different section of the garden. Set up similarly, though you see this similar kind of circular courtyard houses a handful more statues, as well as a pair of empty pedestals that have no statues on them whatsoever. But what catches your attention, perhaps unsettles you, this portion of the courtyard. You recognize a handful of the statues. A warrior wielding a massive, tall shield, clad in knightly armor, holding it aloft, defensive posture. The human figure clad in darkened robes, the thick, curly hair, like hand outstretched to the sky. A tiefling woman, thick mane of hair, seems to be like kneeling on her blade. You recognize all of them. This is one of the other teams you had originally spoke and encountered.
Right, Pip, we might be dead.
No, I'm actually getting further away from that idea. If we were dead, we would be well, we might not be a statue. We might be dead.
Are there any statues of members of the teams that we know died in that first encounter with Greed?
Are you searching the other courtyard?
Well, Maria probably would have followed Joey, but unless something caught her eye.
Yeah, in this space, no. There's a handful more. There seems to be roughly a dozen statues per courtyard, give or take. The majority of these here you don't recognize.
Well, do you guys want to split up, do some investigation, or you think we should all stay together?
If we did, then we did. So I think splitting up would, it'd be fun, right? What are you gonna do? Die? Except Pip, you
Yes.
come with me. I think it'd be best if you came with me.
Why? Is it because I'm old?
It's because you're like small and kind of fragile, not because of your age, but you're not. You
You see his head just slowly turning towards Zappa.
Yes? Small? Fragile? Right, me. Yes. Okay.
yeah, but Zappa's fragile like
Hear
a
that?
like
You're
a
fragile, Zappa.
like a baby bear cub, right? But like you try to like pick up a baby bear cub, you're gonna get mauled, right?
By Mama Maria. Understood. Yes, I don't want to touch Zappa. But here.
I don't know
starts-
how I feel about that nickname.
Mommy Maria?
Don't say that, please.
I said Mama. You said Mommy.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's what made it worse.
I thought you said mommy. Anyway, yeah, we should go off in a different direction.
Pip would like to go look at the statue of the one in the iron with the clad shield, the tall tower shield.
You recognize the figure. His name is Iraga.
I'm looking very close though. I'm talking details, veins, toenails if they are showing. Anything that's a distinct detail that would be difficult to place.
Make an investigation check. Do you touch the statue at all?
That was what I'm planning on doing next, but
Okay.
first I'm just viewing. 25.
It is a very well carved statue, quite realistic. The folds in the clothing, the perfect flatness of the armor, the shield, the symbol emblazoned upon it. Though it does, he doesn't have like bags or extra items on his person. It seems to be a heroic visage, an interpretation almost. But it's still like the clothes, the armor are largely the same. The shield, in fact, you remember quite clearly, as it is like 3 times taller than you.
Joey, I'm gonna touch the statue.
Good luck.
Bink. Gonna place a hand upon it. It's not cold stone. It's actually almost like pleasantly warm to the touch. Emanating faintly in the area around it. Only like the 10-foot area around it or so. So you might be the only one who hears it. It's faint, drifting voice that seems to call out in a mixture of valor and anger. If I am to die, I die standing! Standing! Standing!
Did you hear that, Joey?
You what?
Did Joey hear that?
You weren't close enough.
You see Pip kind of take his hand back.
I don't think they're alive anymore.
I'll go to the next statue, the tiefling,
Okay.
and do the same thing.
Go. Quickly. They're coming. You should be safe there. The same voice just kind of echoes in the space. You're, like I said, unless anyone else gets close to the statue, no one hears the voice.
Joey, I think it's their last thoughts.
It is
Come.
dark.
Pip holds his hand out for your hand,
Joey will take Pippinog's hand.
and he manhandles your finger to touch the statue.
You touch the statue, the same
Excuse
phrase.
me, gnome handles your finger to touch the statue.
The same phrase echoes outward, fluttering through the space. You both hear it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I like these people.
Are they displayed in a way that might show character and like strength, or are they displayed more so as like just how they look?
It's as far as far as like posing and
Yeah.
attitude. It seems to be like heroic interpretations. That's not poses they've struck, but they also don't seem at ease. Like I said, like a Raga has like the shield held aloft, like bracing for impact. Afaris knelt down under her sword as if in prayer, head held low. It's not
Can I go
normal poses. It's like heroic sculpture. What'd I say?
We have a Hoovian join us.
I don't know what you're on about.
I also
Hoovian?
don't know. I know what a Hoovian is, but I don't know what you guys are going on about.
That's fine.
Okay. Yep. It's okay.
I get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go touch the one who's currently kneeling against the sword.
Yeah, that's Afaris.
Yeah.
You've heard her phrase before. Just a moment ago.
Oh, Ryan, you'll be safe there.
Oh, I see. now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the one you just touched. The other ones are the male, the dark-skinned male with like the beard and the long hair, that's Rembani, and then the dragonborn woman, Keldris.
Peep. Peep, 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 peep. Let's look for
Go,
Snidgy,
go.
because his team's the one that...
He's gone. He's running. Full on run. Snidgy, you son of a bitch!
Well, you two are investigating this courtyard. What are the rest of you doing? Zappa and or Maria?
Maria would have offered if either Zappa or both of them wanted to come along.
Zappa would have just picked. We'll say. Let me roll. How many other paths are left that we haven't seen?
There are 3 more. Well, actually 4, because one seems to continue out of this garden.
Okay, so 3 more that don't. Go ahead. Zappa will decide in random. Oh, maybe. Alright, he'll take the first path.
I guess I'll take the middle path.
Or I'll take the one that's left.
You all kind of flake out into this area, making your way around, examining the statues. Some of these areas of the gardens are partially vacant, others are full of statues. It varies widely, but you encounter no other figures you recognize, though all of them a variety of races, physiques, cultures. None seem to have any particular relation to one another, save for a handful wearing similar clothing. No
I'm
more
just gonna
faces that you've encountered. Sorry. That was it.
I was just gonna reach out and touch like one of them at random, like someone he's never seen before.
Alright. You touch one since you just hear like, whatever happens, it has been an absolute honor. Just that voice echoes through the area.
These are totally last words, guys.
Yeah, you all begin to peruse the garden. It would be pleasant and peaceful here were it not for the steady realization that all these statues might be of fallen individuals.
Maria's specifically looking for the team that we know for sure died.
You go, making your way around, but you see no sign of any, no, not the Furbolg nor the Kenku. They don't seem to be present. I will say, none of these statues seem to be overgrown. The pedestals and the walkways, perhaps, vines and grasses spring up. But the statues bear no signs of weather, nor chip, nor growth. They all look pristine.
After Zappa hits touches one of the statues and hears a voice, he'll head back to the center and try to touch the main big statue.
Okay. You see, the child is still sat in front of it, kind of just like watches you guys go off, but seems to just kind of be enjoying the space. You go up, and I'll say the one at the very center is almost like as described in the picture, a female angelic figure that's not T-posing on the rest of the garden, but hands held in front of her with the wings kind of spread out, almost just like in a comforting motion. As you place your hand upon it, no words echo out, so you feel just a sudden sense of calm.
When viewing these statues and these details that I was talking about, are there chisel marks? Or is this a literal perfect statue?
With your earlier investigation check, you see no error in their make. Nor flaw, nor signature, nor sign of its creator.
Would Pip have a mirror in the many kits that he has? Thieves'
Yeah,
tools.
your Tinker's tools, mirror, Thieves' tools for
Can-
sure, it has one.
Can you just peek at one of these statues in the mirror?
Yeah, it bears a reflection.
Okay. And it doesn't look any different.
Not that you can discern.
And he goes off on finding Snigdy and that team that Snigdy was on.
As you go and join around, popping into the other bits of the garden briefly where everyone else is scattered about. No sign of any of your foes or former allies.
Okay.
All of you kind of examine the garden around, and you all seem to notice each other arriving to the same conclusion as far as what this place might be. Hey Zappa, do you think I'll learn something if I bang my head against the statue?
I would say probably not. Whoever made it might just be mad.
Well, I'm not gonna break it. It's stone. Oh, but I ate stone. No, I didn't eat stone. I spit it, but I bit through stone. He's looking at the statue. It's like as if pondering, should I take a bite of this statue? I wonder what will happen.
It was pretty calming when I touched the statue, so if you want to try to touch it first and see what happens.
Oh yeah, I touched it a couple times.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, seems like a nice lady.
How about we press forward? starting to get a little bummed out being here.
Why? This place is so cool.
Yes.
As a note, I didn't find any statues of the team that the team that didn't make it.
You guys didn't like happen to pass by like a statue of like a drow in like armor. Just wondering, you know.
In Pippinog's quest to find Snigdy, checking each and every courtyard, did he see anyone resembling that?
And everyone else has looked through the courtyards. Well, you
Right.
saw a couple elven figures, though none. Not like you could tell skin tone on these anyway. But you roam around, Joey. You see none that resemble your father.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say the only, just for the group in total, the only individuals here you recognize are from that other team.
Well, if that's the case, it's not simply just a collection of fallen Great Games challenges. They all would have fallen through other certain circumstances. Or perhaps we're looking too far into it. Perhaps they're not gone at all, but share some other common ground that would put them here.
Have you
What
ever
if
heard?
it's
Well, go ahead.
Have you ever heard the story of Trancel and Fettel?
Fucking hell.
They
Yeah.
find
No.
a ginger. No,
you
they
tell
find
me?
a gingerbread house that seems perfect, with a wonderful lady inside who also seems perfect.
What kind of bread
She-
is that?
Made out of ginger. I'll tell you when you're older.
Ginger.
And yet nothing is actually perfect. Kind of feels like this. Could be honest.
What does gingerbread feel like?
Perfect.
Feels nice though.
it feels
That's one word.
spicy. Is actually ginger's a bit spicy. It's a very
Yeah.
spicy.
Ginger can be pretty spicy.
What if these guys weren't killed, but maybe just sealed here? I mean, there's all kinds of different magic out there. I mean, maybe they didn't necessarily die, but
Did Noah mute himself? Or is he
Yes.
talking to someone? Who's in his
he's talking to
house?
He said he had a.
Someone came in earlier.
Oh yeah.
Does that? Are you saying these people died? Kind of sad.
No. We don't know.
And that might be kind of sad.
Exactly.
well,
Which is
maybe-
why you shouldn't take chunks out of the statues.
Okay. Gonna take more of these flowers though. So he goes over to one of the bushes and starts plucking a few more. He's formed a bushel, like a handful of flowers, including a couple that Zappa made. Just kind of is carrying them now in his hands.
well, I don't think we're gonna get any other answers by standing here. Do you want to move up forward, or?
Yeah, this place is getting kind of boring too. Come on, let's go. It takes off.
And we'll take off after.
Maria as well.
The party needs to follow.
I am coming along as well.
No worries. Party continues to follow along afterwards. Everyone roll me a perception check if you don't mind.
Hey, let's go with a natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
28. Fucking hell.
Mine was an 11, but GM roll. Don't worry about it.
23.
Goodness. Yeah,
Really?
okay. Save all but Maria. Kind of ironic. She continued to approach ever so distant.
Mm-hmm.
Though in the silence, you can hear
That'd be the recommendation. Oh, my.
the faint sound, quite familiar to all of you. Clanging of metal on metal.
Like a hammer?
Sounds like clashing of blades.
Hmm.
You hear it briefly, stops for a few moments as you continue to walk through. You notice this path leads out of the garden itself, seems to go on for a long way, and for a while you just find yourself walking amidst this beautiful forest, these trees that kind of reach over the pathway itself, creating all these sun rays that beam through the foliage. That light, however, seems to continuously obscure your vision regardless. But ahead, the sounds seem to grow steadily louder. Every few moments or so, it'll stop. Like a couple seconds, there's a pause, a breath. You think it ended just before it starts back up again.
Is this like aggressive or more like sparring going through the movements?
You're not sure. It just seems to be it's not formulaic or repetitive. It just seems to be sporadic clashing of metal.
Andor is going to try to summon the pike again.
No luck.
If we're
Until
walking into a battle, we're going to be severely underpowered.
I disagree. We have the element of surprise.
oh, what surprise! He shouts.
Come.
I'm gonna pick up this child and put my hand over his mouth.
I'll tell you in a minute. Shush.
Go to sleep.
There could
Go
be-
to sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
There could be danger ahead, small one.
He like licks the inside of your hand.
It does not care.
He's actually, you can't even pick him up. He's like as tall as, he's taller than you.
Yep, that's fair. That's very fair.
You're reaching up, putting your hand around his mouth. Stop! What are you doing? Here,
Oh,
he puts his hand around your mouth.
Mm.
Your face is fuzzy. What's that
Okay,
sound?
Maria, you go first.
Okay. Has nobody
Maria's
told
the only one who
Yeah, I
doesn't
was gonna
hear
say. Nobody's told Maria. She's like, okay.
Zap will follow behind.
Group continues forward. That's light at the end of this trail, but originally it was like only out to 100 feet or so, but it seems to now kind of stop at the end of this walkway. It seems to get closer and closer as you approach. It's not moving towards you, you're moving towards it. Until you watch as, like, the child runs up first. Just kind of walks up to this wall of like white pastel light. Kind of looking at it. Whoa. Kind of pokes it. The rest of you peer next to him. It's not a wall. We go?
I mean, yeah.
You're all very quiet. Okay, come on. Walks through it. You lose sight of him instantly.
Maria's going as well.
We will go into.
Pip will observe everyone going in and then, okay, and follow.
All right. And as you all traverse the fog, as it were, take a brief moment because I have to go to the bathroom.
Break time. Break. Do you have a break screen?
I'm not gonna break my fucking screen. It's expensive.
Do it, coward.
Scattering sounds. Okay, I'll be back.
Thank you, Kawhi.
Yeah.
So, are we dead or aren't we dead?
No, no shot.
No? I feel like we're in a different plane, though. We aren't where we were.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The same material plane.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not on the material plane.
It's just
Cook's
I'm
ready to
worried
die.
about a Medusa suddenly showing up.
Nah.
Is there on like like what's it called? They're not like randomly scattered. They're like on. What the fuck's the word? Pillars?
Yeah, they are on pillars, but you could have a creature that uses a Medusa or some, intelligent being that does something like that.
That is true. I'm not gonna roll it out, but actually, you've convinced me.
Well, it's just one of the things to have all these fallen heroes that we know and don't know put in these positions. It's gotta be some kind of collection. If not remembrance, but why? And if so, who?
It could be like a garden of, because the statues could be of like a, not just this great games contestants, but of other great games, because this is only a portion of the garden as well.
That's true.
My
We didn't
first
really look.
thought-
Sorry.
I was gonna say my first thought was perhaps all of these pray to a select god, and this is like this
Yeah,
god's
that's what I was
realm.
thinking.
So
And it's
following
like-
that train of thought, we didn't look at the first courtyard statues where the giant angel is that closely, did we? Did we touch any of those? Because we went down the paths to the heroes statues, but we didn't look at the first courtyard statues. We just touched the center angel. Okay. How
Yeah,
did?
If this was a god's courtyard, wouldn't there be more
Pomp?
signature of the god? Like the symbol
Well-
or statue?
But,
There
like,
was
it's
a
like-
statue of a giant winged person.
Well, that's... I mean, hey, if that's what they look like.
But then why have this forest with a river and a bridge? What's the point of that?
It could just be their plane.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
this is
what I'm saying,
Feldir.
it's
I'm gonna be
their-
honest.
Yeah, I thought Feldir originally as well. The
Probably so.
lawful good, because like I don't feel like this is. I feel like this is his private plane. Maybe not private, but like top echelon.
This is his
of-
island, you know? This is his...
This-
his
This
getaway.
is his abode.
Is Faldir an island boy?
An island
I am.
boy.
Don't. Why? We don't have to bring up Island Boys.
Yeah. So like,
Fel- Faldir or Feldir?
Yes.
Faldir.
F-A.
I will be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like this feels like a god who's like choosing to remember his most devout worshippers.
But they're all on the same team. So I thought this was about the gods picking a champion, not necessarily picking a team. Unless
think
we're all
traditionally
under
they meant to-
caretaker.
I think they're traditionally meant to pick a team. And even if it wasn't, maybe it's like a because we know Aragon, what's his name? The dude with the big shield?
Yes, I know who you're talking
Yeah, he's definitely a worshipper of Faldir because him and Andor kind of talk about that. But like, so maybe it was like, okay, he is definitely a devout follower. We'll induct your whole team into it, kind of thing. I don't know. There's a lot
Which-
of things going around.
Which begs the question why Hyserian's not here, though.
Which
Tyrion's
begs an
not
even-
dead.
Yeah, because Hyserian's not dead.
But which
True.
begs an even bigger question: why is the child here?
Which begs so many questions. Why are we all begging?
But we're also not dead.
Wait, but we did this quest. It's like a quest for Feldir. He gave us a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
This was his thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe he's getting us to bring him the child so Faldir can kill him himself. That's fucked up.
that
What
would
if Faldir, we
I'm
get
back.
there and Faldir's like, thank you, child. You can go now.
We've been theorizing, Chris. We've been trying to come up
I
with
see.
where, what, and why.
What about the who?
We
Faldir.
think it's Feldir. No response from the DM. Good to know. The DM will remember that.
Welcome to the realm of Vultix.
That's such a whiplash. We get there and old text is just like, yeah, I like gardening, guys. You know.
He's like, oh hey.
There are flowers everywhere.
Hmm.
Not roses.
Are they roses?
No.
Yeah, a few are, but not
Not only
Not
roses.
the
It's
roses.
not like a consistent
Okay.
game.
No roses that grow out of the side of people's heads. Copy.
We take a closer look at the winged figure and see Ferric's face sticking out of it.
If you touch it, you just hear his yelling.
Oh man, that would be so. If those are like the final thoughts, can you imagine just Ferrex shouting "fuck"?
All the other statues are like heroic and honorable, and he's just in there like screaming angrily, memorialized forever.
Honestly,
Great.
though, I could see it.
Chris, if you kill Maria in this campaign, I give you 1,000,000% permission to do that.
Why does GC Man's cam look like a cryptid? It looks like found footage.
It's like someone has a bag over their head.
That's how that.
So
That's
like,
how
whose
the-
ransom video is this?
That's how the gamer chair dude.
We're gonna see just water spill onto the chair out of frame.
It's just the opening to Iron Man.
Mm.
Tony, Robert Downey Jr., not Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. is just tied to GC Man's chair.
GC Man has kidnapped Robert Downey Jr.
GC Man had a wrestling match to do real quick.
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Wardlow does squash matches, so he's in there a couple minutes in and out. Done.
Exactly. See,
So,
GC Man will be
GC
back
Man's
any
for
moment.
sure having his own squash match in the bathroom.
Chris, can I request a cat?
Oh, cat is not present
Why have we never seen your dogs?
because they
You
don't
have
come up here.
dogs?
Yeah, there's two.
What do you mean they don't come up? That sounds like menacing.
I'm upstairs, and the stairs are steep, and they don't like to climb.
That's
You don't.
odd.
You never
One
just.
is old and fat and physically cannot do it. The other one is like, I guess, scared because he has anxiety. But yeah, they exist. I'd have to bring them up here by force.
Pixar didn't happen.
I've sent pics of my dogs.
I was gonna say, I'm fairly certain that Chris has sent pictures of the puppers.
It's always good to see them again, right?
Speaking of cryptids,
GC Man? Why are you calling GC Man a cryptid?
hey, I consider it a compliment.
Did you see
Look
man,
at
did
him.
you win?
Do you see when you're muted?
You muted.
I got
Look of
juice.
shame. GC Man is typing.
Yeah, I got juice. That's my mute button and stash.
I would like to share with the world that GC Man now has juice.
So, GC Man, you mean to tell me you didn't have a match as your alter ego Wardlow?
Not today. I was, jocked full of. I got a pack, for tomorrow.
Oh,
Where are you going?
Too much. Colossicon.
Oh,
cool.
have fun.
Awesome.
It's gonna be sick.
Getting torn
I
up,
had to-
Sam.
I know it's fucking me up.
What's the matter? Rat. Oh, is your rat betraying you?
It's just when he claws on skin, he fucking hurts.
You ready to get back into it?
Yep.
Yeah.
No. As you all step through the veil, following the light at the end of the tunnel, the barrier to your vision fades instantly, and you see out for horizon. The bridge, the walkway in front of you, descends into stairs. This almost, not really like not a crater, but this kind of sloped, lower area in front of you. You gaze out far beyond, see a mountain rising out from this beautiful forest. Carved into it, a figure, female, almost born as if holding the mountain aloft. Only the waist up, the torso carved out of the stone face, at least 70, 80 feet tall. From the top of this mountain, this plateau, this colossal waterfall descends, seeming to splash down over her shoulders, creating several smaller waterfalls down and along her arms, seem to flow outward, creating this almost massive, not really a lake, just this kind of still pool of like a large plain of water where these small streams seem to split off from it. This beautiful, crystal clear water you've seen moments ago. And down there, a few hundred feet from you, at the foot of this mountain, you see two figures in the center of this pool. that seem to be in the midst of some kind of battle. See, they do violently clash for a few moments before backing off as if catching their breath, sharing conversation. You're not sure, you can't make them out clearly from this distance, but moments later they resume their battle.
It's Naruto and Sasuke.
You see the child is overcome with awe, speechless, jaw dropped, before he kind of looks down, sees the figures. Oh, there's more people! Runs off.
Oh,
Maria's going after.
Anyone else?
Joey will go too.
Where do I pull up?
What about the rat? Zep?
Oh, no, he's going to my show. That's where he's going.
Yeah,
Mm,
Zep will go ahead and
Joy?
follow behind.
You all carefully rush down these stone marble steps, also partially overgrown. This incredible sight before you. No statue or landmark like you've ever seen. As this crystal clear waterfall rushes down, this like faint watery mist rises up from it. The child like skips down the stairs eagerly, not really seeming to take in the fact that these two figures are violently fighting each other. As you rush down to press after them, you begin to make out their features clearer. One, tall, muscular, clad in bits of dark iron metal armor. Deep, vibrant red skin with a pair of horns seem to come out from the side and jut forward. In one hand, bearing a massive lance, not typically wieldable off horseback, but you watch as they seem to be pitching it forward over and over again, thrusting it like a spear with the full force of their arm. Meanwhile, the slightly smaller figure, human in appearance, older individual, long gray hair that seems to go back down to the middle of the back, sword in one arm and this massive shield in the other, much larger than should be wieldable, but holds it up as though it's weightless as these lance strikes pierce partially through and off of it before they clash once more. The blades strike against each other. One seems to catch the other in the side, while the other one stabs down. They both wound each other briefly before backing away, and you watch both the eyes kind of flick towards the group running down. The child's meet like, hello! And he's like jumping down, waving to them as he makes his way down. You're about halfway to them now.
We weren't dead before. We are now.
what are you talking about? I'm here.
Nice armor.
Who said I needed armor?
Scary.
Do you guys continue to rush down towards them?
Mhm.
Right. The figures seem to acknowledge each other briefly and share a brief exchange of words before the fight resumes in a flash as they have both regained their strength. And the battle is over before you reach the bottom of the steps. You watch the massive, perhaps fiend, perhaps tiefling, you're unsure of the nature of this individual, but you watch as a massive strike gets through this other figure's defensive, pierces off the shield, and you watch as gouges across the side of the face. Definitely didn't just knock my headphones off. Gouges across the side of the face, seeming to knock itself in the eye briefly. The figure clutches it angrily before kind of stabbing upwards, slashing across the devilish figure's chest. With one kind of massive strike ready, you see the figure raise the lance down as if to run this older man completely through. You all pick up the pace, thinking this individual is about to be killed, before you see an expression of annoyance in this devilish figure's face, like a wince, as if bracing for something, as if he knows they've made a mistake. And just as that arm goes ready for that final strike, just before the lance can be plunged down, the other figure's sword strikes upward, and you see the arm scatter away from this figure, completely severed.
Oh,
There's a brief moment of like shock, pain, and recognition before the other one just, without stopping the fight, just raises the fist and goes to punch down. But before the fist is raised, the blade cuts through the midsection. Figure falls in two before scattering into almost seeming to shatter like glass and scattering into shards themselves, kicking up into the air before dissipating amongst the watery mist. The older man, breathing heavily wounded, you see multiple pierce strikes through him, the armor and shield he bears, heavily damaged. Seems to turn to you, smile on his face as if a hard work just done is that relief you feel as he just kind of seems to relax instantly. You do see now the shield, almost as tall as he is, more ornate and wider, but very similar to Araga's. It bears the symbol of Faldir himself, though with a kind of shrug of the arm, you watch the shield just kind of disappear. As the kid runs down again, not really taking over the fact that someone just got cut down. Seems to continue running. Figure looks up. Oh, I was wondering how long it would take you to be catching their breath. You watch as they seem to rub the eye for a moment. The eye that was scattered, half the face was like slashed with that lance. A few moments of rubbing it, kind of regaining themselves. Takes the hand away and the eye is back. You all continue to race to the bottom of the steps before you see the steps just go into the water. It seems to only be less than a foot deep. The child splashes through it eagerly. This older human figure, again, just seems to be catching his breath. You approach him now and you see a mixture of like bright white cloth woven into these fixated armor plates, very almost ornate, ceremonial. The blade itself, this kind of feather-hilted, elongated, faintly shimmering blade, tan skin, and very heavily wrinkled face, baked with years of experience, though eyes that are surprisingly kind. Like, kind of looks out to all of you as, mustering a smile and kind of slowly shrugging off the injuries that they've sustained. And you reach the bottom. That was so cool! You reach, and then he stabbed at you, you heal, and then you that was cool! Kind of looks at him. If that's what you want to call it, certainly. Hello, my boy. Take it you're a long way from home. I don't know where home is. I'm just here. These are my friends. That's Joey. That's Andor. That's Maria. That's Zappa. And the one that is slowly coming down the stairs is Pippinog. He'll be here shortly.
Hey, watch your tongue, young man.
As Pippinog's a good 20 paces behind the rest of you, like hopping his way down the steps. But yes, you all find yourself at the foot of this colossal mountain statue. You see now, at the base of it, where it kind of meets the water, you see this large, ornate stone gate. Closed. And the only other individual in the space seems to be...
Noah has perished.
Pippinog's dead for real.
Do we recognize this figure? The dude who's...
Doesn't bear any resemblance to anything, no.
Zappa will ask this figure, hi, what's your name?
Oh, you can just call me Marcus. Pleasure. I take it you're the ones with the miracle. Not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, we ate it.
How did you know that was us?
Not very hard to figure out. I've been around quite a long time, young man. No other reason you would be here with him. Eyes flick briefly to the child.
Can you tell us exactly where here is?
Kind of looks around. Well, some afterlife, to others home. To me, it's...
We are dead.
No.
No?
No. Do you remember dying?
I remember sleeping.
Well, hope you woke well rested. No, you're not dead. Simply the first. Come on. Follow me. It'll make sense. And begins to walk away from you towards this stone gate.
Andor. Am I being led to believe that's a god?
I'm gonna be for real. I blanked out for a second. Did he say he was God?
Well, if that is the fall deer. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, he doesn't stop walking, but he slows his pace, gonna turns back to you.
What's your name?
I'll just introduce myself. Marcus.
Sorry, I went deaf there for a second. It was hard to.
Yeah, a moment ago he said you could just call me Marcus.
Marcus. Okay, if you move the letters around like this, you break some of them. You may it can spell fall a deer if we really try hard enough.
Can you make a history check, Pip?
Yeah.
Hell's God.
I'm good at history, so 25 total.
I'll leave it up to Noah to figure out why, but you've read this name before. It's familiar to you for some reason.
I need my notes.
Just dives off the screen. It's up to you and Pip to discern where you know it, but you've heard it.
Nope. Continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he continues to walk up to the gate. Just as he begins. Go ahead.
No, I figured it out.
I also figured it out.
I'm thinking way too hard about this then.
Honey, share it with me because you love me.
Your characters aren't the one who did the research. So, the door approaches the door, and he seems to almost take a moment before it, again, as if catching his breath, kind of looks back. Starting to get a bit rusty after all this time. Still got it in me. And puts a hand on it, and as he does, places a hand on it, and you watch the door emit a radiant white light, similar again to these veils you've been seeing and passing through, before the light just fades. Seems to continue onward into a stone arch tunnel. As you stand in front of it, this massive statue just at the bottom. Joey, it clicks in your head, this female statue, the one holding up, it's not holding up, it's more so kind of braced against this mountain, the waterfall drifting down her shoulders. There are symbols amongst it. There are flowers carved from the stone, plants, wheat. I think you might recognize the symbology of this statue.
Oh, guys, look! It's more like... Is she kind of like my mom? A little bit. In a weird way.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose that's true for everyone.
Hey, I thought that... Maria's whispering to Joey, I thought the tube was...
Yeah, I was still born in a... It was not a tube. It was a tank, actually. But...
Like a sack?
No, it was a tank. Like a fish tank. I was incubated in like a tank. Either way, no, I mean, this is... She's the one who gave me life.
I'll be honest. Been around for a long time, but that's a new one. Come on. Begins to walk through. Are we going?
Why not?
Was that words?
Why not?
Oh, I just heard, wouldn't that?
It was literally the sound that plays every time you enter stream.
Yeah, let's go.
So, that's not a god. I got that. That doesn't tell me where the hell we are. Okay, I'm just gonna go along. It's about the adventure.
Well, he did say afterlife, but we're not dead, so I don't know. It's confusing.
I'm right here. He's like 2 paces ahead of you. Though if you're talking quietly, even still, you wager he likely is keen hearing despite his age.
Pip has no care at this point.
Understand.
Peep, the giant waterfall lady was Renara. You know the All-Mother?
You kind of look up at
the All-Mother.
You kind of look up at the statue now. You're like, oh yeah, you've seen statues of her in temples before, or around temples. You've seen the imagery.
Yes, I recognize it.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're probably maybe we're about to meet a god, Pip.
How would you know if you actually met one?
Oh, you'd know. Would you like to?
Yes.
I wonder if they know who Pops is.
Cursed.
Oh, that creep.
Zapper
booger?
immediately starts biting.
As you say yes. Good news then. You'll have your pick.
What?
Wait,
Continues
Dick?
walking.
Fuck.
Pip is now trying to keep stride with Marcus.
Picks you up. It's like holding you out in front effortlessly, even though he's
You've seen a
roughly the same
dog
size as you.
when you pick them up in a pool and they still keep paddling.
Uh,
Yeah, Pip is doing the same.
He runs faster than Pip does to keep up with this individual. You get the sense this child is stronger than you wager, or at least by appearance.
Well, yeah, after he bit through a rock.
Yeah, I
I
know.
would assume so.
Still, not just the teeth.
Yeah.
Or the forehead. Picks you up with his forehead,
No.
like
no, thank
balances you like a soccer ball.
Okay.
Yes, you continue onward. As you press forward through this figure, the tunnel is dimly lit. Cracks in the stonework let, kind of bits of light, sourceless, kind of gleam through that just kind of shine through it. As you watch this Marcus continue to walk forward, like kind of puts the sword over the shoulder, like as a resting state, and a few moments later, it just kind of vanishes into the air as he stretches his back. Really need to work on the stiffness. Don't worry about the eye thing. It was a bit of a misstep, but it'll be fine. And he kind of keeps walking. You'll exit out this pathway into another area of bright stone ruins, very similar to what you had traversed through previously, though the architecture is less overgrown, more well-kept, more recent even. It doesn't look crumbled or decayed. It looks bright, new, pleasant, though areas of small fountains and grass and trees still sprout up here and there. And it seems to be a long, stretching corridor. Bits of these paths and tunnels seem to split off, but you notice areas of these stone temples seem to look different than one another. You see one at the end seems to be a well-supported archway with stairs that lead to this misty white veil. You see another seems to be a partially obscured staircase that heads down with darkened, withered plants, a handful of roses that bloom in the bushes surrounding. A few of these other entranceways that bear a variety of iconography or plants, symbols, structure, clicks to you that there are 9 of them. Kind of steps out into the light of the space. Just kind of take it in once more. Turns to you. Welcome to Celestia, home of the 9, and those in their service.
Well, what about the ones that were statues?
Oh. Those are the brave souls who have committed themselves to the games and perished trying. But their memory lives on here forever. There's a recompense from them. So someone you know. I understand. It's alright to be in shock. That was the first time too.
Why are you here?
Because I won.
And the others who won?
Around. You saw one of them briefly a few moments ago.
The one who fell?
Yes, but he'll be back. That's how the game goes.
Does that mean we could get stuck? Oh, no.
Oh, you're not stuck here. There's just... Seems that some of you have some conversing to do. It's usually how it goes.
You see, man? You're mine.
It's
Pops is angry.
Oh, it's actually...
Yeah.
It's like, that's usually how it goes. Like, he just turns into, like, TV static.
That's equally horrifying.
I was hoping he'd just pull out like an AK and just start mowing us down.
Yes, I will describe these entranceways in a bit more detail. One, again, ascends upward into a rising structured archway before passing into white light. Another seems to be mixed into the midst of one of these areas of gardens. Beautiful, sprouting plant life up and around it. It's almost kind of growing over and into the archway itself. The next seems to be down a winding path, kind of partially obscured. You have to actually look around to actually place that there is the 9th one. The next, cold, barren stone, no plants growing in or around its level with the rest of the floor surrounding. Another, not made of stone, but instead a archway born of trees themselves, kind of growing up and into each other. Next one seems to almost mimic the initial one, the larger, structured one, though slightly smaller, off to the sides. You watch the stones texture almost shift, change, as if it's amorphous liquid. Another gate exists, not made of stone, but instead a darkened iron pair of black gates ahead of it, similar in color to the armor and the lance that horned figure wore. There is one also amidst the trees, but you see it is one tree in particular, bearing a series of grasping vines, thorny, amidst the sprouting mushrooms to erupt from the tree itself. Last, that dark, descending staircase amidst thorns and roses.
If Pip has ever looked nervous, this is the moment.
You watch as Marcus seems to walk up to the child. Seems to be like looking around. Do I get to pick one too? Well, you don't quite get to pick, but kind of kneels down to get level with the boy, puts a hand on his shoulder. That one there points to the one you assume to be related to Faldir. Evie would very much like to have a word with you. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. A warm smile. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. You actually might make some new friends there. Go on. Oh, what are they gonna do? Oh, I'm sure. Eyes flick to you briefly, Andor. I'm sure they'll be right behind you.
See you in there.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay. Do I have to bang my head on anything before I go?
No.
Okay. And takes off. Kind of goes up the steps. And as he ascends them, you see he kind of hesitates briefly. There's a brief, seems like a sensation of apprehension or fear that strikes him for a moment. The smile that has been there the whole time kind of falters briefly. Kind of looks back at you all one last time. Big, bright blue eyes. Walks up and traverses the light. Waiting to see him here for a very long time. Thank you, truly. I don't imagine it was an easy feat.
No, it was not.
Emotionally, it was not easy.
Could imagine that. Well, again, put your minds at ease. You succeeded. You're not dead.
Oh, what are we doing here?
Don't believe that's for me to say. I'm simply guardian, servants, call it what you will. So I'm happy to answer any questions you young ones might have. Best of my ability. There are some that I'm not quite meant to answer.
So if we go through one of these doors, are you telling us that it leads to, like, a god? Or goddess?
Not the god, but likely a conversation with one.
How does that work? Like disembodied voice just echoing through a room?
Well, there'll likely be a bit more. Actually, don't know. But mine, there's a visage to speak to. I couldn't say for. Points to like the fluctuating gate, like probably won't. She might. I couldn't tell you. I've been in that one. Kind of looks at the fungus tree archway. But you don't all have to go to the same one. In fact, I think some of you are meant for others. Depends on you know who you need to speak to, most of you.
No, tell me, please. Who do I need to talk to?
Most of you.
I don't know either. I have
Most
to
of you.
ask Pops.
Oh, yeah. Pops is
Most of
not
it.
here.
I think there's probably like 2 of us out of 3. It's
Call it 3. Looks to you, Maria. I think there's someone you might be interested in speaking to. Couple. So that's for you to decide.
Oh,
Does
can we go
Maria
into
feel
like multiple rooms, come out and just like chit chat? Or is it like if you go inside of one, you're sucked inside of there?
Normally, when people arrive for their first talk, it's one and done before you're sent on your way.
Oh.
Joey. From amidst this courtyard. Sound only you hear. Low, distant cry, dog or wolf perhaps, emanating somewhere from the depths of the trees that sprout fungus and thorns. Low howl. No one else seems to catch it in the midst of this conversation.
It is ominous.
Eric's just T-posing in the middle of the way. Does Maria feel any strong connection to anyone in particular?
Not in particular, though the descending staircase of roses is familiar to you.
Mm-hmm.
A few moments pass before a figure emerges from one of these archways, the level one that sits kind of not like in the middle of the courtyard, but at a center point where all these other ones are equidistant from. You see a figure emerge. You'd surmise this gate to, just based on the others, even process of elimination, to be devoted to. Actually, yeah, devoted to Carias. And a figure emerges. This kind of charcoal black skin, similar colored hair that almost kind of blends in, tied back in a thick bun, adorned in kind of dull gray robes. Seems almost underdressed in a sense. There's no ornateness. It's almost like a monk or a priest. Steps out kind of slowly. And looks to Marcus. Doesn't say anything, just kind of looks at him sternly. The face is blank, expressionless. Kind of looks to all of you. Well, seems like things are finally getting started. About time. Yep, you have work to do too. Do not have to remind me. Seems to slowly just gonna walk through the courtyard, past you, through that archway. No, not through the archway, through the tunnel that you entered from.
Is she going to go meet someone else?
She has a different task assigned to her. Not really mine to say. There's some... No, sorry.
What might her name be, if you could give us that?
Ooh, her name is Herona.
Give me a minute.
Corona.
My Herona.
My Herona.
To save you time, that name is not amongst the list.
I found out.
This is where, many of the... I wouldn't say winners, the game's not over, but those who progress farthest enough have a choice of taking their prize or continuing the game.
Did Azamor take his prize?
Sorry, the name's not familiar. One of the newer ones around here.
Oh, okay.
Is he around here?
Again, name's not familiar, sorry. Only a handful of us, I know all of them.
Well, who else is here?
Well, big fellow you would have met if he won. That is, well, I use Vunro for short. Longer name's a bit hard to pronounce.
Vunuro? Vunuro.
It's
Vunuro.
Vunarunro, I think.
Vunurunro. Fucking hell.
I think you roll the R's.
Vunurunro.
Then there's Miradesh, Nerik, and Rona. That's all of them for now.
How far? Who's the oldest one here?
Rona, for sure. The tired look in her eyes, the boredom, she's got to be the oldest one.
So why is she still here?
She has her job, I have mine. Could consider us each a champion of our particular patron. As I said, just because you win does not mean the game is over.
So, who's gonna go down one of the crazy
Well, it's
tunnels
about
first?
time you guys got here. Jeez.
Oh.
Asimor's in the midst of you.
Yeah.
Can I try and punch Asimor?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just a D20. I'm not gonna. I don't think I can do any damage, but 3.
Hand goes right through him.
Wow!
Marcus kind of chuckles a little bit. She got you, didn't she? That was a bad swing. Asmore's back, different spot. What? Surprised to see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop it! Shouts out. Asmore turns to Mark. Just having a bit of fun with him. Seems to be someone important to him. Kind of waves her hand in front of his face. Oh, he's not actually blind, is he? Asmore disappears. Kind of stepping out from an area unseen, you see a lithe humanoid figure, though ears sharply pointed. Seems to be male in body, held with a sleeveless kind of vest. A variety of small blades you can see, not poking out, like situated in easy to reach places. This very kind of short, ragged cut of hair, these very narrow, purposeful eyes, and a wide smile, though slightly less welcoming, a bit more mischievous than Marcus's. Steps out, hands behind their back, looks out to each of you. So, we have the newest, right? They're the ones who got the miracle? Yes, they freed the kid. Oh, congratulations, I suppose.
Thank you, and you are?
The champion of
Pleasure to
Egypt,
meet you.
I assume?
How did you guess?
Yes.
Yep, she's a interesting one. She likes to have her fun. As long as it doesn't get too out of hand. Yes, I know you like to wave the sword around as much as you like. I'm not going to do anything to it. She kind of seems to come up to you and inspect you all closely.
Can I try and touch Miradesh?
You go to reach out, and she just kind of skips back. Bit impolite, don't you think?
Well, how do I know if you're really here?
You don't?
If you can do illusions of people, could you do an illusion of Pops?
Seems to, peer at you for a moment and, instantly recoil. I can.
I'd like to see Pops again. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Everyone else is like,
Oh no! I am also curious about this.
Make a persuasion check, Zappa, actually.
Oh no.
With Pip bringing up how curious he is as well, is that an assist? Okay. Had to try.
Well, I'm sure you'll see them soon enough anyway. It's not a pleasant visit. Oh, yeah, how about this? Snaps the fingers. They're gone. Figure kind of leans on you, Maria, from the sides. Says, well, long time no see. You turn, you see Shathala's form kind of next to you.
Maria's fucking just face red as her hair.
Oh, she likes that one.
That's all she gets out.
What's the matter, Maria? Did you miss me?
don't, please, no.
Okay, mistress, show me someone I know.
Alright, I can do that. Forget his name.
Snake
Ah.
D, Snake D, Snake D.
Actually,
dear.
no, that would be who she summons. Yeah.
Yeah, you look shorter. You look better shorter anyway.
What's that, a pip sight for sore eye?
You're gonna have a sore eye if you keep that up.
No, I already do, thanks to you.
Mm-hmm. You deserved
The
it
eye
too.
patch is there.
Hmm. So you've been watching us, clearly.
Not at all. Simply see what's in front of me.
It
His
turns
eyes
around,
eke out like sweat. It's not hard.
Wait. Do me next. Do me.
Alright. The other forms fade. You see your father. No, in front of you. You
Snow?
all actually see
Okay.
for the first time the would you like to describe what they look like? What?
Snow, right? What does he look like? It's been so long. He is a drow with long white hair, and he has bits braided in it. He has his scaleras are white, but he has orange, like amber irises. And he wears is it full plate chainmail? I think if he's because of Class B chainmail.
Probably maybe.
Yeah, chainmail armor that has like wheat and roses like designed into it. Yeah.
Yeah, the figure appears before you. What would they sound like, actually? Do they share your accent?
I don't know, Chris. Do people from the Underdark have an Australian accent because they
I
come
will
from
leave that up. I will leave that up to you.
they come from a land down
But
under?
I want you to know that if that is what you go with, there will be consequences.
You just
I
imagine
mean-
a chorus of Australian accents.
Anyone who's born like 500 feet below sea level just has an Australian accent.
Listen, you got two choices because they can have a southern accent because they're from the deep south, or you can have the Australian because they're from a land down under.
This truly sounds like a nightmarish place to live.
Choice is yours.
Either get the yeehaw or the oh no. It's a big bug.
I'd probably do Australian. Otherwise, Joey's Australian accent would be so out of place.
You get the yeehaw, dingo ate my baby.
I'm gonna have to work on the voice, but in an accent very similar to Joey's. He's like, oh, I'm so stressed. Oh my boy! I've seen. He just rushes forward, relieved to see you. And you watch as the form is tangible. He hugs you, and it feels like a hug.
I've been waiting for this for like months.
How's I've been so worried. Where have you been?
You know, around, not doing anything.
Joey, you know that's. He kind of gestures to Miradesh. It's not a. What's the matter? I can't enjoy a nice conversation with my son.
Cruel.
You say cruel or cool?
Yeah, cruel.
What? It's once he wants.
Who do you want?
I don't want that for anything. I have everything I need right here. I
That
could
is
show
Teach me
you.
how to do
I could
that.
show you cruel if you want. Female figure appears. Deep blue skin, white hair. Jabba, you recognize them.
Blue skin. Oh. Oh no. Zappa's face just you see his smile like fight so hard and then Zappa just jumps back as far as he can.
Oh, that cool. Zappa, you're not sure why, but the rest of you see like immediately tears welling up. You don't know why, Zappa. You're not. Yeah, you're whatever Zappa's feeling. Before Marcus just the smile's gone, shoots a stern glare to Miradesh, and the sword appears in his hand. If I have to keep the peace, I will. You wanted Crow. Disappears.
You are a very
What's the
boring
matter?
creature.
Coming from the gnome who does nothing but tinkering.
Hmm.
What's the matter, child? Miss your mother? Eyes flick to you, and do you want one? I could be less cruel. Oh, here's a good one. Andor! They're coming! Ember's voice just kind of echoes through the space. She kind of appears. Andor! Oh, thank heavens you're okay.
I even don't know who that is.
Oh, maybe that was crueler than I thought. My apologies. Touchy subject there.
Wait, could we all see Amber or only?
You all saw her.
In
Oh,
that
you'll see it
moment,
for the first
in
time.
that moment.
That'd be the first time that we.
Yeah. You all see the visage of Amber. Slender face, blonde hair, these kind of like white, close-knit robes. Fair-skinned.
Who is that?
And the visage disappears as shortly as it arrives.
It's
Oh.
Amber,
Yes, Amber.
woman from the
So
Silver
it wasn't
Tower.
a ghost?
It wasn't a
Andor's
ghost,
not
but-
crazy after all.
Oh, not...
Gonna
I
be
have to
real.
give
I
you a
thought it
lot
was a
more
ghost
credit.
this whole time.
Guys,
Yeah.
come on. Do I...
All the heads turn to Miradesh.
Go on.
Oh, sorry, I wouldn't want to bore you.
Ah,
No. Do you know who that is?
Couldn't tell. Perhaps I do. Perhaps you do.
would you like to hear a riddle?
Certainly, though there are a few I haven't heard.
Good. You'll be waiting for quite some time.
Cute. Could show you worse, you know.
Pip at
Enough.
this point is staring daggers at this figure.
You watch Marcus just walks up, slashes through, cuts into smoke. Marcus, this I was ever here. Disappears.
Right.
Sorry, she's kind of a... She is who she is. Looks at you, he's like, you okay?
Zappa's like low to the ground. He's like almost on all fours. I don't want to see any more visions.
You all see you grab Zappa knelt on the ground. Do you do anything?
Zipper, come on over here, mate.
I think I want to stay right here.
Well, can I come over to you?
No, thank you, please.
Alright. Just be two dudes chilling, comfortable distance apart.
5 feet apart in a hot tub.
One of us is gay, but the other one's a child, so.
I washed my hands of that one.
You know we're here for you, Zappa. You don't have to worry.
Yeah, it's okay. Pop saved me, and I'm okay now. I just didn't like that.
With everything that we have learned about Zappa at this moment, when you say Pops saved me, I want to insight check that to see if you fully believe that. Or if you kind of okay, well, it's a 10. Or if you felt like you have no other option.
You can share what a 10 would glean.
Okay. Yeah, Zappa's fully being fully truthful.
Okay.
There's a wave of calm that comes over you, Zappa, and the tears seem to subside. See, Marcus, you didn't realize he had approached you, but a hand kind of clasped firmly on your shoulder, but comforting. As you feel that shakiness kind of fade. The rest can tell he's cast calm emotions, most likely. Sorry you had to see that. Like I said, Miradesh is cruel's a good word for it. But don't let the mischievous ones keep you here. I'm eager to see what you guys learn. I think you have some other, well, maybe more difficult conversations waiting for you. Joey, another low, distant howl. No one else seems to hear it.
Oh, so, Pip and Zipper, you guys gonna go in through one of these doors?
I don't know. Pops didn't say anything about going and meeting any god. He just told me to win the Great Games.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't really be going against him, because a key factor of the Great Games is, you know, having a god like be buddy-buddy with you. So why not just pick one that aligns with what you believe in?
You say that. Yet I don't believe in any of them.
Well,
they're here.
It's not
Like I
about
said.
believing in them. I mean, it's more about believing in, like, the principle, right?
They
They're
all
like-
stand for something.
Yeah, they're representative of, like, a concept. And a lot of times, people who follow gods are more like, it's a partnership, in a sense. It's like two ideals coming together. You don't need to, like,
how-
venerate them.
How much would Zappa know of the Nine?
You'd know-
Living in the Feywild.
You'd still know of them.
Mhm.
Even just what you've encountered on the Great Games has shared a decent amount of information for you. So
Yeah.
if you have the Google Doc still, in which case I
Mhm.
can share it, you'd know whatever information is on there.
It's in the
Okay.
Discord, too. It's in the night.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I got it in the.
Yeah, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
So probably not much more.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, Pip, I know that you're skeptical, right? So, I mean, at the very least, you can just... And Zeppa. Well, Zeppa, I don't know how skeptical you are, as you are more so just... not interested. But, you know, just follow whatever your ideals align with, right? What do you want from this life? What do you want from this game? Yeah, I mean, if you want, like, love and stuff like that, then Renara. But if you're looking for something more driven, then I don't know if I would technically, like, really suggest Altix, but it is what he does, you know, right?
Driven's a good word for it, if that's what you want.
I mean, we all obviously know, like, the basics here, but... I mean, wouldn't you think, people maybe like the Wanderer for you?
There's been many, many times that Pip has had conversations with you all and has said things that may have been thought-provoking. And he's seen that facial expression. He's returning that facial expression and sits on the ground, staring individually at each one of the doors.
I don't know what I want.
Do you
Here
love?
or in general?
Sorry, what? Both of you?
Marcus said here or in general.
What did you say, Kawhi?
Do you want love?
He looks at you, Joey.
Everyone wants love.
Not
Where do
true.
I find it? I don't know.
I've been turned down too many times to believe that. I'm literally a being of like almost
Kit
pure
sticks
love,
one
and
of his mustache tendrils into his mouth and just
I'm-
bites it.
taking a lot of L's. Definitely, there's some people out there that do not want love.
Perhaps not from you, but from others. Love is a general feeling. But in general, I was hoping that this adventure would tell me. It has gotten me no closer.
You're just looking in some of the wrong places. But you know who they are. Which one speaks to you? They might probably share something that you didn't know about yourself that might set you on the right path. No, I guarantee you any of these will take you down a different one.
Kind of sits back and just kind of thinks for a minute.
And if you don't want to choose, you're more than welcome to sit out here with me until the rest of them are done. We'll keep you company.
Oh no. The opportunity to speak to one of these gods. Why would I
Still-
pass up that opportunity?
You're still putting it in quotes, huh?
Haven't seen it? Haven't been able to test it? Why should I believe it?
Pip, what is a god to you? What do you expect to see to prove godhood?
Well, when I first met Azamor, I thought that. Then I met our fellow with the big axe. I thought that. Then I saw this place. And I thought that, and now I'm here. I don't know what to think. The only thing I do know is an opportunity is set before me, and I'd be smitten to not take that opportunity.
Hopefully it helps. There are no wrong choices here.
Well,
I can guarantee you that.
if we go down one of these, is that like that's it, or can you just pop in and just have like a little bit of a chat? And if you decide that's not for you, can you just be like, oh,
It's not a. You're not getting claims. You're having a talk. There are some that want to talk to you. You in general. I know all of you have your skepticism.
there you go, Zip. Bloody hell. Pip. It's not like you're making a final decision. I guess maybe you should ask yourself, which one do you think would be the most, like, study-wise, interesting to speak to? Like, maybe the trickery one is not the best because you know he's gonna, like, blow smoke up your ass, right? But
You're not gonna get any kind of straight answer out of him. You thought Miradesh was cruel.
yeah, maybe choose one that you think you can actually get, like, some scientific information.
If it helps the decision, Cries doesn't lie. Though he also doesn't talk much.
No. No, I think I know which one. I just don't know if I'm ready. Could be.
Your eyes drift off, Pip. You notice there's almost this like ring trail that kind of goes around this courtyard, encircling it fully, though winding through these gardens and paths and all of that. At the end of it, there was one more gate. Answering the question.
That's the one.
Picks himself up and he goes. Doesn't hesitate.
Nope. Word of advice, though. Don't walk straight to it. Take the long way.
Took him a long time to get here. I don't think a couple extra steps will hurt.
Boop, 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 boop.
Begin to walk around the path. It will take you a few minutes, as it does seem to go around the breadth of this courtyard, though it begins to take you through this beautiful scenic area before you. And the rest of you, what would you wish to do?
What are you thinking, Zappers?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I'm good at sneaking, and I can play music sometimes. I don't know which one of these would be the best for me. And Zap is just kind of like overwhelmed, like looking at all the doorways. Just studying them. He's gotten back up. He's no longer like crouched down. And just kind of taking each one in.
You
Happy
hear
to.
Pip.
Go.
You hear Pip in the distant whistling an old gnomish tune that you may have heard him whistling in times of like down or somber.
Happy to answer any questions you have. Mostly.
What about you, Andor?
Well, I
Yeah.
think he knows which one he has to go to.
My father would kick my ass if I chose anything else but Belder.
Oh,
I'll let him explain that part.
Maria?
Maria doesn't reply, but she walks to the first gate, which would be Feldir, and then starts pacing around the room, her boots clicking against the cobblestone. And she does a couple of back and forths, stops at the one for Ultix, kind of smirks, and walks towards Catharis's.
Towards which one?
Carias.
Carias.
There you go.
And that was the one you had previously seen Verona exits. Yeah, you approach that one. You feel this wave of cold wash over you as you approach towards it. Grips you tightly. Bit of hesitation, but it doesn't cause harm.
Maria's gonna turn around, look at the group, give a smile. She's gonna start walking down the path.
You press forward, and it's this same thin veil of light that you've been encountering in this space to varying degrees. You touch it, and that cold kind of tingles your fingers before you put a hand through. Almost feels like you're almost shifting through liquid. It's not quite. It's like this liquid smoke fog. You're not sure. But you step through. Maria disappears.
Oh, there she goes.
There's two.
Joey, you've been asking everyone else?
Well, I think there's someone that wants to talk to me. And then there's like the one that I kind of like owe my existence to. So I'm feeling pretty torn right now. I also think that I'm being like messed with to some degree, and that peeves me. But I don't know if I were to say something, if I would get an honest answer. So I really gotta like think about it, I guess.
Here's hoping you make the right choice for yourself.
I'm usually really good at that, but I feel like I haven't been doing that very often.
If I was given the choice between talking to someone who wants to talk to me or talk to someone that I want to talk to, I'd probably choose the latter.
Choose yourself?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, Andor. So, Zappers, what are you thinking?
I'm still trying to decide. If you guys want to go ahead, you can, and then I'll pick eventually.
What's
And he
raking
just
through
kinda
your brain?
rubs his head.
I mean, like the extreme ones, so like the ones on like the either end, so like Faldi and Ultix, like, are you able to like narrow it down from there, like, or is it like everyone is just really on your bucket list right now of possibilities?
I don't know. The Wander, and then the Dying kind of sounds like they harbor over nature, and I live in a forest, so that's nature. And then there's the Deceiver, and she does stuff with trickery, and I can do like sneaky stuff, so that's kind of trickery, right?
I guess. But trickery isn't always like nice.
You saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, take your time, Zippers.
And Zap's just kind of like rubbing his chin, thinking, looking between the doors.
You hear from way off in the garden.
Takes time to make a choice. Don't rush it.
Oh! It's a cacophony of oh, ah, woo, just comes from the garden.
What are you still doing here, Andor?
Oh, I was actually just about to head out.
Oh, alright, good luck.
I wanted to make sure my friends made a decision. But, seems like you two might take your time, so... Andor's gonna head over to the, Elder Gate. Just before he enters, you'll make eye contact with Joey, and then kind of... I'm assuming they kind of go in, like, order of how they are in the Discord?
Actually, no, they're kind of just kind of scattered about.
Oh, shit.
There's some that are like up in these stone pedestals. There are some that are mixed within the gardens. The only one that seems to be like central is Carias's.
Gotcha. And will turn back, make eye contact with Joey, and kind of nod his head towards Renara's before heads through Falde's Gate.
Traverse this warm glow overtaking you as you enter. You traverse. Joey once more as that eye contact reaches that low, distant howl.
Zipper,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think I should do?
I mean, I would pick whichever one you think will give you more answers.
It's a good answer. All right. All right. Well, if there's one thing that I have always been, Zappa, it's just a little bit stupid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or thank you.
Wow.
Joey's gonna pat Zappa on the back and then go into Renara's doorway.
Zappa,
Mm-hmm.
as Joey's walking away, and you catch Marcus, like, gonna grumble quietly to himself. Says nothing. Joey, you approach this beautifully grown, twisted tree gates, that same thin veil of light. You approach Joey, and there's a twinge on the back of your neck. Like a ever so faint tug backwards.
It doesn't feel good, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Joey would head in.
Right? You traverse the light. Zappa, you being the only one in the courtyard. Not my place to stay. Well, it's you and me.
And all these gates.
If I've ever found myself hard pressed between a decision, I had a tendency to let chance decide. I'm not saying you have to. Just offering advice where I can.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And let's roll.
Oh no.
D2.
Hey, D2. That works.
And Ultix.
All right. Zappa will breathe and calm himself, and then he'll head towards the Deceiver's Gate.
All right.
Mm.
You begin approaching it, and just as you kind of approach, you see the visage of the gate shift and change. It becomes a ornately carved, reminiscent of tree and bark and vine, but still carved that same darkened stone. Flowers begin to sprout from the stone itself. Flowers you're familiar with, flowers from home. You traverse the light.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing you hear, Marcus give a sigh. Good luck, son.
Thank you.
Enters through the light. Meanwhile, Pip, though unbeknownst to the others, you have been going on along this path, winding around, about halfway there. You begin to realize that whistle has been getting ever so slightly lighter, less gruff. Your whoosh are kind of turning into whoa. Your back doesn't hurt as much. You're a bit more spry. Till the end, you finally come to the end of the path. Distance long traveled, but you feel better for it. Do you enter?
Look up at Marcus.
I always think I'm forgetting something, but I think this time I actually know the answer.
That's the start, isn't it?
No, it's only the beginning of the end.
Walks through it. There's a lot going through Pip's mind right now.
Nay, out of curiosity, what is your hair color before it turned white?
Pip's brown.
Brown?
Hmm.
Then a Pip. Spry, young, luscious brown beard. Steps through the gate.
Very short, and there's only 2 tendrils on the mustache.
Like that.
Bronze caps in the end.
As you all traverse the gates, that is where we're going to pick up next time.
Hey.
Oh, you can't
but
do this to
Noah's
me.
about to go, and I just want to, I want to have all the conversations ready. I wasn't sure
That's
who would pick it.
crazy.
Are you
Oh,
talking to gods?
Y'all thought you were going to be in a cave and shit. I said no.
Yeah, actually, though,
I was
Chris,
not
holy shit.
prepared for this.
That's
I
what
don't
makes
think
it
anyone
fun.
was.
I had oh, dude. Oh my god. I was not ready. Choose a god.
Yeah, sorry. I know it's ending off a little early, but like I said, I wasn't sure who would pick who, and I can't prepare 9 different individuals
Yeah.
having however many different conversations.
Is
That's a
what
lot.
I normally say.
Actually,
Oh, that
isn't
was so good.
You know that TikTok trend where it's like always keep them guessing, and it's like someone going through like they pull
Yeah.
out cards and
They go to sit
cards.
down and they tie their shoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like Maria just pulled on all of us. She was like in front of Valdez
sure.
and went to Altix and just went to a completely random.
Oh no,
Chris.
it was not random. I
I
will
was
say.
gonna, random is the right word, but I guess unexpected, at least for me.
Gonna be honest, Chris, I did hope that you would prepare 362,888 possible conversations.
Did you do the math? Wow.
I did the math.
I'm good. I'm not that good.
Cool. Well,
Thank you all for playing tonight. Thank you, chat, for joining
this
us.
session
I'm
was
not sure
so
who all's
good.
in there. If there are advertisements to be done, by all
Uh,
means.
check us out. Other channels. Saturday night, I think we have the other streamed game. This will be our normal time slot from here on out. In 2 weeks, we'll be back here. Join our socials. Love each other. Hydrate. Love animals.
What about the new campaign?
Huh?
The new dot?
You do it, Kawhi.
Yeah, what?
You're in it, Noah!
So are you.
We will be starting Monster of the Week soon. I don't have the date memorized, but at some point, probably.
I'm not sure there is a date.
There is a
Yeah.
date. There's a date you're supposed to have your characters done by and a date that we're starting. Although, I don't know if it's immediately going to be live streamed.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know if we should say anything.
But it's coming up.
Keep your eyes
We'll-
peeled if you
we'll
like
find
Monster of the
out.
Week content.
Yeah.
It might show up. Who knows?
Might? It will.
Facts. Okay.
Who knows, Kawhi?
Dot
Love you guys.
fucking dies.
It's-
Thank you
No.
guys. Have a good
Bye,
evening. and we'll
guys.
See you next
Yeah.
time.
Bye.